Do you ever get the feeling you're never going to get a video done? 2 weeks in the making, I ask you. Hello everybody. As you probably gathered, I've had a very frustrating couple of weeks with the GoPro, strangely enough, because essentially it was only occasionally picking up off an external mic. So the first thing I did was to check that the Hollyland mic wasn't at fault, and a very quick test by plugging it into the EM1 Mark II confirmed that the wireless mic was working perfectly. So scratch that for the problem. Next, I thought, I wonder if it's the GoPro mic adapter. Couldn't see anything wrong with it, but I thought, well, those are green parakeets, by the way. If you certainly would have heard them, I think, if not seen them. We've got quite a flock now in Prince's Park. See what I mean? Hope you saw them. So the mic adapter looked fine. No obvious damage to the USB-C cable. I'll put a little still of it up on screen for you so you can tell what I'm looking at. We're by the Spiral of Life, by the way, here in Prince's Park. Supposed to bring you good luck and karma if you start at the outside and walk into the middle by the tree itself. So I thought, okay, it could still be the mic adapter, simply because it's got a short cable to it and I've been unplugging it constantly. Well, the only other option, because the GoPro Hero 9 was a second-hand one when I bought it, I did take the plunge and I ordered a brand new one, which is what's filming this. And the brand new Hero 9 with the original GoPro mic adapter works perfectly. Cost me 250 quid to find that out, but at least now, hopefully, I've got a working vlogging setup once more. Yeah, just a point of interest for you. I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but this is the headstone for Judy, the donkey that used to give children rides around this park. And she did that for 21 years. And when she came to the end of her life in 1926, she was buried here. It was felt the fitting place for her to be interred. And at long last, I'm able to describe this camera that I've been trying to do a vlog on for 2 weeks. And I don't think I mentioned in the previous clip, but the fault is with the USB socket inside the Hero 9 GoPro, which has been damaged or in some way has stopped working. Anyway, having got that out of the way, this is what I've been wanting to talk about. This is the Olympus Camedia C3020 zoom, which was brought out in 2001. Now, you're probably asking yourselves, what on earth are you doing trying this out, Alan? 22-year-old camera now. Can it possibly be of any use? Is it usable in 2023? Right, there's two ways of looking at the answer to that question. In theory, yes, it is usable. It's still fully working, point number one. Whether anybody in 2023 could put up with it and use it on a day-to-day basis is quite another thing. Things have moved on so dramatically that technically it's usable. In practice, I'm afraid not. Now, It's a 3.2 megapixel camera, which in and of itself, for those of you that watched a video I did quite some time ago, asking how many pixels do you need, I doubt very much I'll be able to get anything bigger than an A4. Can you hear the parakeets? They're going crazy today. I doubt very much I could get anything approaching a decent A4, to be honest with you, off this. You might do by resizing and interpolating the image, but it really isn't going to be worth the effort, I'll be perfectly honest with you. It has a 3x optical zoom, doubling up, more than doubling up. It's 7.5 with the digital zoom, if you include that as well. It's slow to start up, point number one, and importantly, because I'm not sure how much damage it's going to do if you forget to do this, but the important thing for me anyway, take the lens cap off. It's a very tight fitting lens cap, pinch type, and it's tethered. Remember when cameras had tethered lens caps? When you turn it on, it takes a few seconds for the lens to extend and for it to basically wake up. The problem is that if you do this while you've got the lens cap on, the camera makes some awful grinding noises. And I really don't think it's going to do the gearing inside very much good. It will reset itself and work properly, but as I say, long-term damage may well be caused by doing that all the time. So, have to remember to take that off. 3x zoom, it equates to about 35 to 90, that sort of range, quite moderate, but good enough for a camera of its type. It's quite a chunky little thing. At this time, 2001, between the late 1990s and the early 2000s, Olympus had literally dozens and dozens of models on the go, practically all at the same time. And it wasn't until quite well after this that they went down the route of going slimline bodies. This one's quite chunky with a very good grip. It is powered by 4 AA batteries. That's pretty good because it means that in 2023 you don't have to worry about trying to find a very obscure battery pack for it. It has an optical viewfinder on the back which does have some kind of, I guess, parallax compensation, and the view in the viewfinder does change as you zoom in and out. So obviously, the closer you get to something, the more discrepancy there's going to be between what you see in the viewfinder and what the camera sees through the actual lens. Has a really good, it has a useful close focusing facility down to about, I think, 12 inches, something like that, 11, 12 inches, which of course is shown on the back with the usual flower symbol. For a camera of its age, it has remarkably good exposure controls. You've got a program setting, and then you can access either aperture priority, shutter priority, or full manual. Not very quick to change between them, and not very quick to change your exposures either, because you have to do it through the very, very crude menu system on the back of the camera. Because of the issues I had with the GoPro, I did a couple of different location shoots with this little camera. On one occasion I took it down to St George's Hall in Liverpool, one of our most famous buildings. And then I also took it up to Anfield, the home of Liverpool Football Club, of course. And I took some stills up there, spent a good half an hour waffling into the camera, only to come away with really unusable audio. But I'll show you some of the stills from both those outings. Control-wise, I was talking to you about the exposure control. So you have, as well as the main command dial on the top of the camera, you've got a rocker switch for your zoom. So it's not a stepped zoom. It doesn't sort of jerk from one setting to another. It's quite smooth, so you can accurately set the focal length to what you require, which is a nice touch. The optical viewfinder is tiny. All I can say is that for spectacle wearers, God help you. It does have diopter correction, which is nice. Controls on the back are your standard sort of four-way pad, and you do have a live view facility, but obviously that's quite hungry on the batteries. So it's best, if you can, to not use that too much. In terms of storage, it uses smart media cards. Those ultra thin ones that you can no longer get, they are defunct. I was quite lucky because my little camera came with a 16 megabyte card inside, and also inside the very rather sweet little pouch case that I got with it, lo and behold, there was a 128 meg smart media card. So I've swapped those around, and that's what's in the camera now. JPEGs on high quality, there are 3 quality settings for JPEGs. I think I can take 170 on highest quality. If I want to swap to TIFF, that number drops to 16. If you want to shoot in TIFF, you have to wait 30 seconds for each image to actually write. The camera will not do anything else during that 30-second time delay, which really makes it completely unusable. So I did take a few shots in TIFF and JPEG just as a comparison, but you know, practicality of the thing means that if you are going to use a camera of this age, you are going to be shooting in JPEG only. So why does it take such a long time? Well, that's the real big difference, I think, between 22-year-old cameras and ones that are on the market today. It's the processor and the processing speed of it. Today we think nothing of shooting in RAW and JPEG both at the same time, and the time delay is 0. really. The same thing cannot be said of the Olympus 3020 zoom. Don't get me wrong, in its day it would have been a pretty proficient camera, far from a point and shoot, that's for sure. So could I recommend a camera of this age as being usable in 2023? As I think I said at the beginning, technically the answer is yes. This is a fully working example, unblemished really, no marks on it. So I'm convinced it's working as well as the day when it was manufactured. But in practical terms, it's not usable. It's too slow. There is no information whatsoever in the optical viewfinder. If you want to get a precise idea of your exposure, you are going to have to rely on the live view screen on the back, the menu screen. The menu itself, by the way, is very, very dated. You'll see as soon as I put up some of the stills. Very basic. So it's just not a practical camera to use anymore, I'm sorry to say. Did I waste a lot of money on it? No. It cost me £10. And for £10, I'm very happy to just pop it on the shelf as a talking point, as a reminder to me and hopefully some others that cameras have moved on in leaps and bounds. Exponential development. That sounds posh, doesn't it? Have I enjoyed playing around with it? Yes, because it does make you realise just exactly how much cameras have changed. Unbelievable. So, from a very sunny evening here in Prince's Park, just at the back of my house, by the way, which is literally through there, past the crooked tree, I'm going to say, enjoy your photography. If you're using old cameras like the Olympus 3020 zoom, good on you. You're a better person than I am. But anyway, enjoy your photography. And I'll see you all for the next video very soon. Bye for now.